Let's begin. Individuals are known to one another, each with their own perspective of the world.
Conflicting views brought together, united by the power of their words.
Young minds determined to make a difference, establishing a community amongst the chaos.
Attempting to create the poetry in the hustling, bustling pandemonium.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome. We're so excited to have you all here today.
I'm Iman Patel, and I'm the co-founder of Poetry in Pandemonium.
And I'm Nandini Raisarana, the other co-founder of Poetry in Pandemonium.
Poetry in Pandemonium is a community of young artists trying to give their words a place in this world. We aim to provide a platform for young budding artists to showcase their talents and discover the art of performance.
The idea of Poetry in Pandemonium first came to me 2 years ago when I realized that so many of my friends and I were interested in writing and performing, and I decided I wanted to provide a platform for young writers to showcase their talent. I approached Iman, who wanted to establish a writing community that would often meet to give each other feedback on their work and conduct workshops. The two of us thus decided to merge our ideas and create a platform that would not only allow us to showcase our art, but also a community to watch each other's art grow.
Last September, we held our first ever event at Mockingbird Cafe in Mumbai, and we're excited to host more events. However, due to these unprecedented times, we were forced to switch to a virtual platform, which turned out to be more of a boon than a bane. Today, our lineup includes artists from all over the world, including India, Pakistan, Canada, and the United States. And we are so excited to watch this evening unfold and have you with us for it.
Before we proceed, we have a few requests for both the audience and the performers. For the performers, please note that your pieces are appropriate. We do not support any form of sexist, homophobic, racist language and thoughts, so please keep in mind to be respectful. Also, please switch off your audio or only when it's your turn to perform. Should you switch it on just to respect others? The same goes for the audience. You may use the reaction buttons to show your appreciation for the performers.
Let's begin. First up, we have Saundarya Wankhede. She's a 17-year-old aspiring singer-songwriter who loves playing the guitar. She believes that music connects people and brings them together and hopes to do exactly that. She will be performing her original song, 24,000 Ways.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is 24,000 Ways, just as Aman just said, and I'm really happy to be a part of this open mic and really happy to be opening this evening. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, and here's 24,000 Ways. Hey, listen, I gotta tell you something. When you walk inside the room with the guitar in your hand, I fall for you, I fall for you. When you smile, I feel like I am in a wonderland. I fall for you, I fall for you. When your voice touches my ears, I feel like I can die. Accidentally, when your hand touches mine, I fall for you, I fall for you. At times I keep searching for you. At times I wanna see your face. You are 24/7 on my mind. So tell me how to stay away. You make me fall for you. You make me love you say. Tell me, how do I stay away when you light up the stage in 24,000 ways? In 24,000. You are the love I need. 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 You in 24,000 ways. Thank you.
Thank you. It was really good. Next up, we have Hussaina Haryanwala, who's a 15-year-old who enjoys raising awareness about various causes with the help of her creativity. The piece she will be performing today is titled Let's Talk. Hussaina, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Hi, Nandini. Hi, Iman. It is an honor to be performing with Poetry in Pandemonium. I love talking, and I feel it's such it's a mode of expression, that people express their thoughts with, and it can be in different forms. So today, what I want to talk about is not only a topic that is being highlighted recently because of the lockdown, but it has been overlooked in the past years, at least with the amount of development in the country. We are not being able to look into this factor. So today my piece's name is Let's Talk, and I want to make one thing very clear. I'm not a writer, so I just speak. I enjoy speaking. I'm a speaker. So if you find I haven't really written anything, so I'm going to be speaking on the spot. So I might fumble a little because coming up with things is a little difficult for me sometimes. Okay, so because we all are teenagers here, is what I believe. I'm going to be talking about anxiety, depression, LGBTQ, and how you can work things for yourself if you want to do something. Let's talk about anxiety. When I think about anxiety, when I think about all these aspects, the first thing that comes to my mind is work and people and judgments and the Indian societies and auntie, a padosali auntie who's constantly saying shit about you. That is exactly what comes into my head. And I need to tell people that anxiety is a thing. It happens to it is a cause for depression, and it comes at a point. It's a stepping stone. Like, you step on it and you come, you enter the world of depression. And what I want all of y'all to understand is that there is a way. There is a way y'all can go through whatever y'all are doing. And anxiety is very natural with what we are living in this world. It's crazy. There's so much good and it's bad. And anxiety as a whole subject is very mentally consuming, physically consuming. It literally eats you up inside. Let's talk about depression. I don't find a reason to not, I'm sorry, I don't find a reason to not talk about it, because I personally feel that depression is a topic that should be spoken more widely about, should be encouraged. People going through depression are humans, not aliens, very normal, and they don't need tablets for it. They don't need a crocin to work with them. They need to be exposed to therapy. They need to be spoken to, and we need to stop. And if you are going through depression, you need to know that you are strong, you are amazing. And just because your life is surrounded with some negative people, you can't work it through, that does not mean you're not worthy. That does not mean you're not loved. And that definitely does not mean that you're not capable of doing something that you want to do. Life is full of opportunities and you will get them, but just give it time. I am a massive believer in the fact of karma. I believe that it takes time for things to heal. And another thing that I want to tell you is that if you are being bullied in college, school, university, anywhere around the world or around the globe, that is something you need to know. 99% of the bullies, the people who bully you, they either don't turn out to be successful in life, they either end up having their life issues, because you know why? Because they have been so involved in your life that they forgot how to deal shit of their own. So if you're being bullied, trust me, you will learn so much from it that at the ending of the day, you will be like, you were the one who bullied me, and now it's my time to teach you. But trust me, I was bullied as a kid for a lot of things, and I've learned so much from it. It's taught me to be it's made me the person I am. It's given me the voice to talk to other people and tell them that those bullies have nothing of themselves. That's why they try to be in comparison with you, so they find a buddy. They don't feel left alone. That is exactly why they bully you. If you are a part of depression, anxiety, if you go through it, if you're a member of the LGBTQ, one thing I want to highlight the most: if you're bisexual, transsexual, pansexual, even if you're straight, you are accepted in this society with welcoming hearts and welcoming hands. And no matter what, you like a girl, you like a boy, it doesn't make a difference. It doesn't change you as a human. It won't change the fact that you drink, you eat, you love people. And if those people are not paying your fees, those people are not funding your life, and those people aren't telling or providing you with meals, then they are not supposed to give their opinions. Those opinions should not matter to you, because at the end, they aren't providing the life that you have. So when others come and tell you, dude, you dressed up too slutty, or you have this, you have that, their opinions definitely do not matter, because they aren't giving you the funds that you need to grow as an individual. Okay. And then the next thing is maturity. I feel if you're having an argument, we just go like, bro, she's not mature, like this doesn't happen, like she's so dumb. Those words can hamper some people at a time, because there are some people who are very timid. And if you are one of them, again, you are not going to be a 14-year-old when you're 18. That is not possible. You will grow. And some people, when they are young, they grow eventually. So don't feel less in yourself. Don't feel that, I'm dumb, I have nothing to do. These people go here, they go there, and I'm just so inferior. No, you're not. You're extremely superior. If not for them, then for yourself. Because at the end, what you do is for you. I've had this friend, she's very thin, okay? And her teacher told her mother on the report on PTA is that your daughter is so malnourished. And I don't think that is something that should be coming from a teacher, because you're a teacher. And second thing, she isn't malnourished. And second thing, you are not overweight, you are not malnourished, you're not obese. If you are comfortable in your own skin, then that is what you do best. Okay. I also want to say, when I was watching Never Have I Ever, I loved the way the father said to the daughter that you are beautiful, you are strong, and this is a message I want to remind each one of you on the Zoom call, or even if you aren't, and if this reaches to you, let me tell you one thing: you are worthy of what you have, and you will do it. Give it time, believe in God, and you will succeed in whatever you do. And one thing that is very clear, I don't tell a lot of people, is that when you go on a ride, if you're in a bus, you believe the bus driver. If you're in a taxi, you trust the taxi driver. If you're in a plane, you trust the pilot. So just trust God with life, and you will get your path through it. So all I want to say today is, guys, that I love you all so much. Even though I don't know you all amazing individuals, and especially Nandini and Iman, the fact that you've given children like us to voice out their opinions and express their words on such a platform with people all over the world. It means so much to me personally. And guys, you guys are amazing, okay? So keep rocking it. I love the girl who just sung. Your voice is incredible. I wish I had 1/4 of those vocal cords. But I'm done for today, and I hope you all have an amazing Zoom meeting. And I'm waiting to see so many other people perform. Okay, so bye, guys, and enjoy. Okay, bye bye.
Thank you so much. That was
you.
really touching.
Thank you for bringing that positive energy to us, Asena.
Thank
Um, Up next, we have Sagar, who is a 20-year-old from Haryana, India, and he is an engineer by profession, however, a writer by heart. He will be performing Endings Have Its Own Beauty.
I am not able to.
Hello,
We can hear you.
hello,
We can hear you.
hello.
Sagar,
We can hear you, Sagar. You can start.
Okay. So I'm starting with my introduction. My name is Sagar and I belong from Hisar, Haryana. I'm 20 years old. I'm an engineer by my profession and a writer by my heart. And today I'm performing one of my piece, which is titled as Endings Have Its Own Beauty. So here my piece goes on. I was sitting at the shore of the sea, admiring the sunset and sunrise both equally. Suddenly, Suddenly, thoughts stuck up a corner of my mind, and suddenly thoughts struck up a corner of my mind, and some unsorted memories from my past revines. The arising of sun was so mesmerizing, just like our story. That blooming scene was reciting. The day starts steadily, and the sun was gleaming, proclaiming lights. And on the other hand, we are winged in comprehending our story at the elevating heights. After all the curvings, the sun eventually setting down the earth, and you gave a haughty end to our story, saying it doesn't worth. Broken and hopelessly, I took a stand, lost in oblivion, and make a way towards my clan. And just then, the setting sun started to mesmerize again. I doubt first, then I came to realize the next morning the same sun was going to shine, giving a new hope. The sun ultimately settled on the earth, giving our story that priceless worth. The same sun was at its duty, and I came to know endings have its own beauty. Endings have its own beauty. I would like to end with a musing. He dedicated to the loving memory of the girl whom I loved, yet could not marry. कि तेरे जाने का असर कुछ ऐसा हुआ मुझ पर कि तेरे जाने का असर कुछ ऐसा हुआ मुझ पर तुझे ढूंढते ढूंढते ही मैंने खुद को पा लिया otherwise I wouldn't have come across an author in me. Thank you. So that was all.
Thank you. That was really good. Next up, we have Kiara Foster, a 27-year-old from Brooklyn, New York. A poet, model, singer, and dancer, she loves the ocean, great vibes, and wine. She will be performing her piece, Dreams. Kiara, are you here? Okay, we'll move on.
Okay, so we don't think she's here. We'll move on to our next poet and we'll come back to her. Up next is Juhi Sarvaya, someone we're very familiar with, and we've had the pleasure of seeing her grow since our first Poetry in Pandemonium event. She's a budding writer who has stories racing through her head at any point in time and pens them down. She will be performing her piece, Reality Check.
Hi everyone. So as you know, my poem is called Reality Check, which actually means that it's to remind someone of the current situation of the real world, and this is kind of like an ode to a reality check. So let's start. When the world was a few billion years old, it was magical. Not a night passed when 100 stars wouldn't twinkle. The world used to be full of light, and the dark moments were managed with real might. The world long, long ago was filled with air that was fresh and clear, where birds and animals lived without abuse and fear, where rainforests and oceans flourished, and townsfolk were rarely famished. The world was filled with truth and benevolence, where people were good hearted and didn't believe in discrimination against color or affluence. But now, look at the traffic and pollution. Where is the solution? People are killed because of their color and caste. Rainforests and plants are breathing their last. War is raging. Innocents are getting murdered. Bomb blasts, gun shootings, and bloodshed is leaving no one bewildered. What happened to George Floyd, Freddie Gray, and so many more makes me feel breathless and sore because this is what the world has become, a place to fight, a place to kill if your skin isn't light, a place to torture animals so much, a place where the genuineness has started to lose its touch, a place where people can't love who they want, a place where such big issues are treated with behavior that is nonchalant. When did we come to this? When did prejudice, bigotry, and egomaniacs take over such bliss? The world was once a beautiful home, right? To people who could freely roam, to people who didn't judge, to people who didn't begrudge, to people who could treat the world with empathy, to people who could see the good in you and me. And that is why I dream of a world where we unite in pride, where out of fear no one should hide. I dream of a world where the labels can be dropped and the judgments and indifferences can be stopped. I dream of a world where everyone puts down their firearms and where animals can roam about freely without torture, negligence, or any alarm. I dream of a world with clearer water, fresher air, and climate unchanged, where the laws of the environment are not infringed. I dream of a world where each of us, we have a choice, where each of us, we have a voice, where one doesn't hate because of gender, religion, or race, where there's real hope that one day the world will be a safer place. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Juhi, for
Thank you,
that
Judy.
beautiful
It was
answer.
great seeing you perform.
Yeah. Next up, we have Adya Rohira, a 16-year-old poet. She has been writing for a while, but has only recently decided to give spoken word a chance. Give it up for her piece, Ghar Jab Toota.
Okay, so I'm gonna start. घर जब टूटा तो इश्क पे पाबंदी लगी, इखलास के बचे हुए पुर्जों को मैंने समेटकर खौफ के लिफाफे में डाल दी। उसी लिफाफे को मैंने मुहर के दरवाजे की दाई ओर वाली अलमारी के चौथे दराज में तुम्हारे पुराने लाल कमीज के नीचे रख दी। अब तुमने वो कमीज पहनना छोड़ दिया। बिरहा की गूंजती हुई धुन को कस कर तुम्हारे लिए रोटियां बेलने लगी, लेकिन तुम किसी और के हाथों से रोटियां खा चुके थे। देर रात को तुम चुपचाप घर के अंदर आते, ना मेरे लिए पुकारते, ना अपनी मौजूदगी को दर्ज करते। बस महताब की बेवफाई में तुम्हारी परछाई अब नजर आती है। घर जब टूटा तो मुझे महसूस हुआ, तुम्हारी छुअन में उसकी छुअन का एहसास हुआ, हमारे तस्वीरों में माजी के झूठे वादों का एहसास हुआ। घर जब टूटा तो मुझे महसूस हुआ कि इस रिश्ते में लिहाज महफूज नहीं, एहसास हुआ कि भावहीन होना ही है सही। पता चला कि हमारे रंजिशों को गफलत करना अब मेरी मुराद बन गई, लेकिन इस आरज़ू को पिरोने की हिम्मत मुझ में थी नहीं। तो घर जब टूटा, मैंने ना सिर्फ चीखा, ना सिर्फ चिल्लाया, ना सिर्फ मेज से तस्वीरों को जमीन पर फेंका, ना सिर्फ बेशुमार अश्क बहाया। मैंने उस दरवाजे की दाई ओर वाली अलमारी की चौथे दराज में तुम्हारे पुराने लाल कमीज के नीचे रखे लिफाफे को निकाल कर उन बिखरे इखलास के पुर्जों को अपनी आबरू से जोड़ दिया. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you so much for that, Adya. Your delivery was amazing, and even the piece was. We now have Ramon Jimenez. I'm sorry if I pronounced the name wrong. A Mexican American writer who lives in Seattle, Washington, performing After the Flames.
Is he?
Ramon, are you here?
Okay. We'll go on to them later. They're probably still asleep.
Yeah.
Now we have one of our very own Poetry and Pandemonium performers, Nevin Abraham. He will be performing his original song, Pretty Girl. I don't think Nevin is on this call either. So we'll have Simran Jasubai. Simran, are you here?
Hi.
Okay, so Simran Jasubai has also been part of Poetry and Pandemonium since the very beginning. She's a 15-year-old, and apart from writing, she loves nature, dogs, and dolphins.
I'm 16, sorry.
Okay, sorry.
It's okay.
So she's going to be performing How to Speak to a Tree.
Hi. So as Nandini said, I love to write and I love nature. So nature is one of my favorite things to write about. And also, thank you so much, Nandini and Iman, for giving me this platform. So my poem is called How to Speak to a Tree. Place a gentle palm against its sturdy bark, delicately, deliberately, softly, slowly. Trace the crevices on its skin with fingers that want to understand, and then close your eyes and observe as a blind man reads a book. Each crack and crevice is a letter in braille, and the more you read, the more you realize this is not just one tree, but a tiny cosmos, an ecosystem in itself that harnesses life beyond the eyes can see. And then shut out sounds and listen as a deaf man sways to songs, feeling the rhythm vibrate from the ground, through your toes up to your mind, till your body just can't help but move with joy, and then relax your muscles and feel as a tired mother embraces her newborn. No words, no sounds, just the synchronized beating of hearts, like the synchronized swaying of trees in a forest where all is one. Thank you.
Thank you, Simran. It was beautiful.
Thank you, Simran. Next up, we have Ritika Ghosh, and she chooses to effort herself. She chooses to express herself through her poems, and will be performing "To the Boy I Love." P.S. I still love you. Ritika, are you here? Yeah.
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
Hi guys. So I have my poem here, which is titled "To the Boy I Love." Yes, I still love you. So many of you must be knowing that it's inspired from the second part of the movie, to all the boys I loved before. So hence that title. So here it goes. To the boy I love, P.S. I still love you. Every time I said I love you, I mean it. Every time I wished if you were here, I mean it. When I met you, I had no idea I'm gonna fall for you. I thought no one likes me, but then came you. I was breathing, still I was dead. I don't know how you got right into my head. I know love isn't always about staying close. I know love isn't always beautiful like a rose. I never thought I will love a stranger this much. I never thought I will. I can never lose you because you will stay in my heart, in my mind, even if you are miles away. You become my star in the darkest night. With you, even darkness feels so right. I wish you were here. I could hug you tight.
You're my lantern, you're my light. I miss talking crazy, I miss our emoji fight. It feels like all a beautiful dream. I don't know why I love you so much for being in my team. I'm trying to hold you close by holding your hand. I'm imagining you like I'm losing an auctioned land. We can never hold grains of sand. How hard we try, it just slips away from our hand. What comes close has to leave one day. I will always be glad for the time I met you. I will always be glad for the time I got to know you. When the story of my life will end and I'll rest, I bet the chapters that started with you will be the best. I don't know where these pages start or where will it end, from where it all started to going on in your presence. I never ever felt like I was all alone. I never let it go even while you were gone. Felt like you lived right in my phone. Since that day, my love for you has just overgrown. Even though we are away by thousands of miles, your text or calls suffice to bring a smile. I don't know what's so special about you. I don't know why I think so much about you. Every single day and night, I feel like you were here, showing me directions when I was walking lost nowhere. Chapter of my life that started with you. I just wish to spend one day with only you. I felt some kind of way I never supposed to feel. Distance gives me wounds I guess I would never heal. Knowingly or unknowingly, if I ever hurted you, I just want to say a bunch of sorry. I still think it's not the end of our story. I was never knowing that I could fall in so deep or I ever had the ability. Don't worry, even if it's over, in my dreams, we are a beautiful possibility. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for that, Ritika. Next on stage, virtually, is Ishani Kacholia. Ishani is still figuring out what she wants to do with her life, but she writes songs, poetry, sings, plays piano, and has an art page on Instagram. She will be performing her piece, Twisted Mirrors, today.
Look up, far away from the deep, deep blue. The surface shatters. I gulp air in and exhale thin water. It's the light that cuts. Even the blood lost its color after a drop dripped from my eye and hit the puddle. Blue paint, pink glass, grey air swirls. Darkness that glut, swallows and lazily settles. Piercing with a glaring intensity, my eyes widen. Hers are blank, unblinking, unforgiving. There's a predatory curve to the smirk of her lips, a strange silky tone to the lilt of her laughter, and a mesmerizing flow to the way her hair falls. Her fingers are closed around a bloody knife. Rapidly rising bubbles explode. Their screams are smothered by the sound of falling rain. Mine don't carry far enough to disperse in the wind or echo like dying thunder. I realize too late that I'm back down under. She is exactly where she always was. We are matched in appearance, but I'm overwhelmed by her thoughts. The struggle for control always brings me to my knees. My head hurts. My heart is heavy. Was nothing ever beautiful? Nothing I see ever is. Nothing I touch will ever be. It was never me. It was never me. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashani. Next up is Ananya Garg, a 17-year-old poet and spoken word artist who has just recently discovered her love for poetry. She will be performing How Does a Reader Fall Asleep?
Hi, am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay. So I've written this. I wrote this a while back, but I never had the guts to perform it because I always thought it would be boring. but my best friend finally convinced me to perform it, so here it goes. How does a reader fall asleep? A reader falls asleep thinking about whether the hero saved the king or whether the queen killed the traitor, or what form the moon's craters. A reader falls asleep thinking, when something goes wrong, why are only the stars blamed? The fault was in our stars, we say. What about the moon's mistakes? Why don't they cause us the same ache? You were my moon, for I ignored all your mistakes. A reader looks for sunflowers in wheat field. He looks for medicines to heal. With those big inquisitive eyes, a reader loves but never pries. A reader falls asleep wondering if he could somehow escape, if he could wear a cape. It is said a reader lives 1,000 lives before he dies. He also wishes he could be a spy. A reader is a lover, a warrior, a teacher, a mentor, a raconteur. A reader never lies. He wishes his stories would come alive. A reader falls asleep with a head full of dreams stuck safely underneath his pillow. A reader isn't stuck between black and white. A reader can read between the lines. A reader falls in love every single night. A reader's brain is an amorphous mixture of the atoms and the molecules that make the universe full of stories of humanity's ikigai and what brings them the ultimate joy. A reader knows how to put two and two together. He knows the difference between your lies and mine. A reader has by hearted all the lines of his favorite books, of his favorite poetries, of his favorite prose. He wishes he could make friends not because he is prey to loneliness, but because he wants to share the unending joy he gets with filling his head with stories in the hopes of uniting people and solving the world's problem because only a reader is crazy enough to think he can. And while a reader has a million things to think before he falls asleep, yet at night his heart weeps. And while his soul searches for all those pieces you broke inside of him, his eyes close as the lights go dim. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Ananya. Next up, we have Anika Khanna, a 15-year-old who is extremely passionate about poetry. She really enjoys performing in general and will be performing her piece titled Do Not Fall in Love with People Like Me.
Hi, I'm Anika Khanna, and my poem is Do Not Fall in Love with People Like Me. Do not fall in love with people like me. Do not fall in love with people like me because they say that true love should set you free. But in my world where love is a cruel journey, our roads are littered with broken glass, and I will expect you to walk every step with me, even if the soles of your feet have to bleed. Do not fall in love with people like me. Do not fall in love with people like me because the love of my life, he spat spite and screamed, get a life of your own, you blood-sucking leech. You follow me around with your words as you preach, going on and on about trust and belief, things that you need. I hate those desperate, needy eyes because they always expect more from me. Do not fall in love with people like me. Do not fall in love with people like me because they say our minds are infected with a perfectionist disease. Perpetual growth and improvement is what I demand from me, and loving you means that I will push you to be the best that you can be. The truth is, I will drag you to mirrors till you bleed through the surface. I demand to know who you are, every flaw, every dark crevice. I swear by my damned idealistic tongue, I won't try to fix it or change it, but I will force you to stare at yourself in the mirror and face it. So I've said this before, and this leads you to believe that you should not fall in love with people like me. For the ones who did are few and far between, and they'll tell you, I'm needy, I'm clingy, it isn't easy, it isn't convenient, I'm pushy, I'm crazy. But I like my inconvenient self, and my difficult love seems fair to me. So yes, I'm proud to say, I expect you not to leave when the road gets tough, and you're the cuts on your feet when the ground gets rough. Yes, I have expectations, so the bare minimum won't be enough. I expect you to show up in this world where we can't look ourselves in the eyes. We turn the mirrors around, look at each other and lie. I want us to make it, so I won't let you hide. And if that's too much to ask, it's time to say goodbye. I won't let you change the things that I believe, the work I expect, my attitudes and dreams. I don't feel selfish and I don't feel guilty. And I will not let you tell anyone that they should not fall in love with people like me. Because even though the ones who did are few and far between, the best thing they did for me was leave. And I love people like me. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Anika. It was absolutely amazing.
Next up, we have Zamia Akbar, a 17-year-old Singaporean poet and photographer based in Lahore, Pakistan. She is also the founder of a literary and performing arts platform, Velvet Voices. Zamia will be performing a piece titled The Universe.
Okay, thank you so much for that introduction. Once again, my name is Amia. I'm from Singapore, but I'm currently living in Lahore for my studies. And today I'm going to be performing a poem that recently got published called The Universe. I hope you guys like it. I have this theory that some people just aren't made for this life. Maybe God isn't an eternal being with no beginning and no end. Maybe he's just like the rest of us, a faceless ghost with no place to call home. Maybe God wrote a poem with my name on it one night and watched as my mother's womb trembled with the weight of my body. I like to believe that the universe is infinite and endless. I like to believe that somewhere in the dark there is a world where my past is an exit wound rather than a bullet permanently lodged inside my chest. I find comfort in the hope that none of this will matter eventually. Not the night I swallowed too many pills, not the way I turned razor blades into white lies, not the last time I watched the sea break against the wind. I don't know if I believe in fate, but I believe in a universe that continues to sting even with its tongue on fire. I believe in a universe that continues to exist as it always has, long after I am gone. If God exists, then this must be his gift to me, the promise that my mistakes will not cause the world to fall apart as if it is a blue sky swollen with rain. I can see it. I am standing on the edge of weightlessness as the universe continues to pulse with light, as if it is the moon sinking into the sky, as if it is a tree, waiting for the wind to ripple through its empty spaces and set it free. Thank you.
Thank you, Zamia. Next up, we have Giselle de Guzman, a 21-year-old singer-songwriter from small-town Cremona, Canada. Her style is country music with authentic lyrics and dynamic vocals. Her original song is titled Almost Home. Are you here, Giselle?
Yeah, she's here.
Okay, cool. I couldn't see.
Giselle, we can't hear you. Could you unmute yourself? Okay, I'm gonna try and unmute you 1 minute. Yeah, Giselle, you're unmuted. I think your mic is not working. Could you?
Oh,
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Hello?
we can hear you. Yeah, perfect.
Okay. Okay, sweet. All right. Yeah, so this one's called Almost Home.
I can see familiar faces, feel something warm inside. It's been way too long. I'm almost home. Never noticed how much this town made me into the person I am. Didn't think I really would miss it, but here I am, heading back now. Yeah. Hey, I'm heading back now. One more stretch of highway, gonna take this four-wheel ride. Another 12 songs on my iPhone, 2 more towns to fly by. I can see familiar faces, feel something warm inside. It's been way too long. I'm almost home. One more stretch of highway, gonna take this four-wheel ride. Another 12 songs on my iPhone, 2 more towns to fly by. I can see familiar faces, feel something warm inside. It's been way too long. Whoa, it's been way too long. I'm almost home. Oops.
Thank you so much. That was really beautiful. And thank you for waking up early to attend this.
No problem.
Next,
Thank you, Giselle.
you're lagging. Okay. Next up is Felicia. She's a 32-year-old writer and actress from LA who wants to write and connect with art. She will be performing her piece, Love Score. Is Felicia? Okay, I don't think she is over here. So, Iman, do you want to ask the next performer? Okay, I think Iman's having internet issues. So next up is Ashwini Shende, who's a 22-year-old poet from Nagpur who aims to express herself through her poetry. She tries to articulate her personal experiences through poetry and will be performing the piece, Can You Support Her? Is Ashwini here? Okay. I think we'll move on. Next up is Alena, who's a 15-year-old poet and writing is her outlet for emotions, as well as an irreplaceable passion. Her piece is titled Place of Privilege.
Hi Nandini, hi Man, hi everyone. It's an absolute privilege to be here today, and I just want to wholeheartedly thank you for this opportunity. These past few months, however crazy they've been for us due to the pandemic, there are people who have been hit much worse, and that's what I'm going to talk about today. The inequity present in our country has been even more prominent in the current climate. My head has been spinning with the thought of the migrants who got run over by a train since they were sleeping on the tracks. Then you say, how can you sleep on a railway track from your air-conditioned room and fully furnished home? Your voice reeks of privilege. What do you know about not having a stable source of food? What do you know about not having a roof above your head? What do you know about walking in the scorching heat for thousands of miles trying to reach your family? But what do I know about any of these things? It stings. It penetrates through my skin. Skin that has the privilege to have warm water wash it every day. Skin that is adorned with scars that have been concealed by my wealth. Skin that houses a body which was privileged to be born into an affluent home. But that's all it is, skin. While mine is left untouched, theirs is populated with layers of scar tissue. But our value and our worth isn't measured by the health of our skin. I had the privilege to retire to my bedroom when the heat was unbearable. They didn't have the same option. While I have the opportunity to choose my place, they are compelled to remember that place. And how unfortunate is it that the places we come from determine the places we'll go? So when you say, sleeping on train tracks is just dumb, I see through the carefully crafted layers of privilege that you have so artistically hidden with your open mindedness and generous donations. All I have to say to you is remember your place.
Thank you for that, Alena. I think it was really good. Up next, we have Neeti Nachani, one of our own Poetry in Pandemonium performers, a 17-year-old who believes that she is not someone who creates art, but that art creates her. She'll be performing her piece, I Am Not a Poet. Nandini, can you?
I'm trying to unmute you. Just give me a second.
Okay. Hi. I'm so excited to be here, and and thank you, Iman and Nandini, for this opportunity. And I'm so happy that we get to do this, even though we're in the middle of a global pandemic. So I wrote this poem a little while back, and it's just reflecting all the months that we have been locked up and how different life has become. And this poem is called I Am Not a Poet. In the past few months, we've realized that not having time is an excuse, but we already knew that. If this was poetry, I would talk about the stars, and I would ask you if you thought if they were lonely. If this was poetry, I would tell you how much I loved the clear summer sky and the feeling of paint drying on my fingers. If this was poetry, I would tell you that you felt like the salty summer breeze after days of isolation. But this is not poetry, and I am not a poet. I'm a cynic with rhyming words. So I tell you that I like the texture of bitter words and heartache. I ask you how it must sound, the tired footsteps of 37% of our population marching home. Do you think it sounds like clapping? I ask you what you do all day, while realizing how steeped in privilege that question is. If this was poetry, I would ask you if you looked up at the cloudless sky and saw me in the stars. But this is not poetry. So I wonder if in the diyas that you light, you see the flickering lights of ventilators. Because this is not poetry, and I am not a poet. I am just a cynic with rhyming words. Thank you.
Thank you, Neeti. That was amazing.
Yeah, Neeti, that was really good as always. Our last poet for the night is Boiled Barbie, a 16-year-old from Kansas, USA. She's an unapologetic writer and chooses to use her voice to amplify the voiceless. The piece she will be performing today is called This Is My Fight. I can't see your name, so if you're there, could you just send me a message?
So we think that a lot of our international writers didn't figure out the time zone quite well. So moving on to our last act of the night is last but definitely far from the least, another Poetry in Pandemonium favorite, Krisha Mongia. Krisha is a 17-year-old singer-songwriter who is extremely passionate about music and writing, and her first single has already been released. Today, Krisha will be performing an original song, Holding On to History.
Okay. Yeah, so as Iman said, I'm going to be singing my song called Holding On to History. And well, this is a song for anyone who's had that one friend who was never there for them or just always seemed to let them down. So I hope you like it. I've known you most of my life. I know the way you react, but I still can't face it when you don't stand by my side. Even though you've done it a million times, you know I was always there for you. And you'd come running to me when everyone you knew turned their back on you. But I always stood by your side. And you leave me as soon as they take you back. And now I realize that I've been holding on to history, playing back old memories, waiting for you to remember me. Now it's time to forget it. I'll forget the way you treated me, broke my trust and stepped all over me. Forget the pain you caused me, filled in by a blame. I'll do what you did to me. And after everything was done, you text me and asked me if I was fine. But in the midst of all the chaos, you stand by the side and just watch. Hey, you watch me break, watch the bruises form and the scars cut deep. But you never stood by me. And now I know that I've been holding on to history, playing back old memories, waiting for you to remember me. Now it's time to forget it. I'll forget the way you treated me, broke my trust and stepped all over me. Forget the pain you caused me, filled in by a blame. I'll do what you did to me. And how can I forget someone I've known my whole life? And how can I forget all the times we've had? And how can I forget someone I've known my whole life? And how can I forget all the times we've had? I've been holding on to history, playing back old memories, but you never remember me. Maybe I should forget. Thank you. Thank you for
Thank you,
all the
Krishna.
comments.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, we were planning to end the night here, but this has been an amazing night, and we don't want to end it so soon, especially because so many of our performers couldn't make it. But this is really impromptu, and Nandini and I weren't going to perform today, but I have something that I've written and I would love to perform it, especially because y'all have been such an amazing audience. So it's not really titled, but here goes. Your body is not a before picture or a political statement. It is not a commodity or an analogy. It can simply exist. It does not have to conform nor offend. does not have to be complimented nor defended, insulted nor hailed. It can simply be the vehicle for your soul, pumping blood through the veins and arteries, the lub dub of the heart, the mechanisms of joints, surviving, existing. It does not have to be extraordinary, impress, with a dress, confined to aesthetics. It can simply be. And while that may be a concept hard to grasp, we're not all robots made of copper and brass. We're humans with emotions and beating hearts and living sins. And we deserve to be treated as such, with compassion and care, maybe broken, but with hope to repair. We're not lost causes, we're not the sum of our beauty or the presence of our physicality. We're resilient minds, we're loving hearts, we're living souls, we're breathing hope, and so much more. We're destined to be brilliant despite beauty, brilliant without beauty, brilliant regardless of beauty. We're not beauty or brains. We're beauty, brains, heart, lungs, and soul, organs and skin, passions and sin, love and loss, all that you can't encompass in a word as simple as a body, in a word as trivial as a body that simply exists without serving a great big purpose while being a vehicle for the greatness within. Thank you. Thank you for all the comments. Thank you for being such an amazing audience.
Iman, you're frozen. Okay, I think one of our international participants, Ramon, has come in. So I think we're going to give him the mic now. Okay, I think he's having some internet issues. So I've got a message from Ananya saying that she wants to perform one more. So Ananya, you can go ahead.
Oh, am I unfrozen?
Yeah. Ananya?
Yes.
Do you want to perform once more?
Okay. We're good. We have time.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So this one is known as "I Want to Meet You Again." I want to meet you again. When our minds are less cluttered, when our hearts are less fluttered, I want to understand. Who fills the spaces between your fingers? Who fills inside your gap sweaters? And I realize people aren't meant or not meant to be. We're all just poetry struggling to complete ourselves. We're a damsel in distress, an unending mess. You look outside your window, you listen. You hear the distant cacophony of the mornings, the birds chirping, the cars honking, and even though your jar of marmalade claims to have no added sugar, you realize that can't be because, after all, we're all just a little bit sweet. I want to meet you again. And I want to sing. I want to sing the songs that make you heal. I want to understand the reason behind your treason. I want to know why lately I've been feeling like the sixth chair on a five-seater table, like rain in the summer season, like a wanderer looking for reasons, like a wolf in hunting season. And I know when the stars fall down, they heal those around while I sit here with a big fat frown. And I have your pictures framed. There are many names, names that have hurt me. The moon spoke to me, the stars consoled me. But I want to meet you again, to understand why fresh linen came to my comfort when you didn't. why my heart still beats for those who hurt, because we made promises we forgot to fulfill. We delayed them, left them on our windowsill, and while they collected dust, we continued to rust and waited for our next lives to regain our trust. All of this just to meet you again. Thank you.
Thank you, Ananya. Is there anyone who would like to perform? Just shoot us a message.
I think Ramon has entered the meeting again. So I'm gonna. I think Ramon, you need to turn your audio on. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, we have Ramon.
I'll just do the introductions. Ramon is a Mexican-American writer who lives in Seattle, Washington, and he's going to be performing After the Flames. We can't hear you. Could you please unmute yourself?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
How are you guys? How's it going?
Good, thank you. We're so glad you could make it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. It's like 8 in the morning here. I just woke up.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Hope everyone. Where are you guys? Where are you guys from?
We're from India, Mumbai.
Oh, what part of India?
Mumbai. Yeah.
Mumbai?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Awesome. I have a friend that's from there too. Okay. My name is Ramon Jimenez. I'm originally from Los Angeles, California, but I live in Seattle, Washington right now. There's a lot of crazy things happening here in the U.S. There's riots and there's people protesting. People are tired of a lot of the police brutality. I don't know if you guys have been seeing or paying attention to what's been happening. There's a lot of calls from people to defund the police, to find a different way to deal with things, to address racism. And so for me, I've just been kind of writing this whole week. And so I composed a poem that kind of deals with some of this stuff from my own personal life. I grew up in the 90s in Los Angeles. And in the 90s, there was a big riot in 92 over a similar kind of situation where the police beat up a man. And then they got acquitted for beating him up, almost beating him to death. His name was Rodney King. But I was only 4 years old when these riots happened. So everything in my neighborhood was burned down. And it took me until adulthood to really find out what actually happened. So this poem is called After the Flames. Sometimes I only remember the good parts of the 90s, the music videos on MTV, and the hours spent playing video games that required you to blow on a cartridge. I was a hyperactive, unaware child. Only as an adult, I learned why my dad lost his job at the liquor store during the riots of 92. For me, memories of Imperial and Crenshaw back in those times are smoky. The young gentrifiers in flip-flops and cargo shorts zipping by on scooters cover up the injustices of the past, just like the officers acquitted of putting hands on Rodney King. As a teenager, I only saw the abandoned theater and the empty lots where the Black-owned storefronts once stood. Our parents never went into detail, and the schools never went into detail about the past epidemic, never talked about the mass prison system in a time of budget cuts, nor the cops who walked away as the hoods of South LA scorched while they defended Beverly Hills. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Ramon. Is there anyone else who would like to perform? Please shoot us a message. We would love to have you perform, as our official lineup for today is complete. seeing as there's no one who would like to perform today, I'm going to hand it over to Nandini to conclude.
Okay, I think I'll perform a poem. So
That's great.
this was a poem I wrote for a competition which was based on mental health. And here goes. Dear diary, life seems to be coming to a halt, for I see big, bold letters of all my faults, and my soul has become dark and dense, and nothing can ever make amends. Dear diary, I saw a big red F on the paper and the glare of my teacher. My friends' whispers grew louder and louder, and I knew I couldn't take it any longer. My lips quivered. I couldn't speak. My bones grew frail and weak. My pillow was soaked and my voice had expired. I went to bed saying I was tired. Dear diary, her loud, ugly laugh echoes in my head, the same laugh which like wildfire spread. Because of some untrue facts which got me attacked and made me the conversation of the school. But no one would converse with the joke, the fool. So I sat all alone, hidden from view. Nobody bothered, and no one knew. Dear diary, stay away, a disease. Okay, I get the hint. So I confine myself to the four walls of my apartment and smack my lips with old stale food in a panicking and complaining, grumbling mood. Sleepy days and sleepless nights, while voices in my head constantly fight. The world seems to sing and dance to mourn the dead, but I just sit and sob on my bed. Dear diary, his face haunts me from heaven and my mind replays the same questions. My head spins round and round in circles as I remember all the stolen angels and the victorious devils with their soothing smiles who disguise themselves as talk to me helplines. Thinking about it makes me numb, so I sit and stare at the blank wall, acting dumb. Dear diary, I'm thrust into a cycle of oppression, but they say I just want attention. They can stench the room with their breath of beer, but I mustn't shed a tear. They live their life in their own masquerade, but I'm overreacting when I touch the blade. So I'm stuck in a struggle to make sense of me as I've been given the title of a lost identity. Dear diary, I feel like I'm a burden, a curse. So I search the stars for answers, for they know how to glow in the dark, so they can teach me how to regain my spark. They ask me, what's kept you sane? And who knows all your secrets and pains? They ask me, where have you left your voice and heart? And I suddenly know with whom I can't do a part. Dear diary, life goes on, and I put on a brave face, for I think I've finally found my safe place. So here's a toast to my dearest diary. Thank you for letting me fill your pages with my soul's innermost poetry. Thank you.
So we have a lot of people volunteering to perform right now, and we would love that. So Manvi Nag would like to perform right now. So Nandini, just like unmute her, I guess. Yeah.
Can you all hear me?
Yeah, we can.
So, hi everybody, I'm Manvi Nag, and I want to share this sort of story I have written surrounding menstruation. So, at the beginning of this year, I interviewed a bunch of teenage girls my age from a vulnerable community here in Bombay to make their struggles and hardships surrounding menstruation into a book. So I interviewed them and I converted their experiences into stories. So I want to share with you one of my favorite ones about this one book. So here goes. When Sarah was 12, she got her period. She was confused and perplexed because she had been provided with only basic information about menstruation. However, it still came as a shock. A girl's first menstrual cycle is new to everyone around her. So everything that Sarah wore, slept on, like her clothes, bed sheets, and socks, were burnt. Early one morning in Bhajiwadi, Sarah's mother made her way into a barren space. The sun had barely risen, and remnants of the previous night's eerie sky were evident. The usual car horns and neighbors' voices weren't there, and Sarah started to feel nervous. The neighborhood was secluded. Just Sarah and her mother, accompanied with the ominous sounds of a light breeze brushing against their faces. Suddenly, Sarah's mother lit a fire and threw everything that Sarah wore or touched during her period into this fire. This was because the thing Sarah touched was seen as dirty, simply because she was menstruating. The fire exaggerated every time her mother fueled it with a new piece of clothing or linen. Its bright orange sparks dancing with the now burnt cloth made Sarah feel angry and hurt. Her eyes began to tear up as she reflected the formidable fire in front of her. Watching her clothes burn was devastating, and it made Sarah detest her period. Was she so dirty that her own family burnt anything she came in physical contact with? Was she disgusting now that she had her period? However, even after facing such adversity and pain, Sarah is still an open-minded young girl. She is open to sharing her stories to raise awareness and doesn't ever want what happened to her to happen to anyone else. She feels proud about her period and continues to play football and go to school when she's on her period. Sarah is determined to help break the taboo surrounding menstruation in her community as soon as she can. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Manvi. Um, who else would like to perform? Because I think a few of you did send chats to Iman. Yeah, Iman.
Yeah. So after Simran, we'll have Dia.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so the next poem I'm going to perform, I don't really have a title about it, a title for it, but it's about music. So some say you need music to dance, and I nod my head and reply, there's only one music within you. If your breath has a steady rhythm, and your heart sings words of wonder, and your eyes find beauty in little things, and your ears can listen to songs inaudible. This is music to me, and the reason I dance is so I can feel it coursing through my veins, intrigue and curiosity,
Can everyone hear Simran? Or did Simran just get cut off?
I feel like, yeah, because I haven't been able to hear her.
Okay, so I think next up
So,
is Dia, right?
yeah, so Dia Bhojwani will be performing a small piece next up. Just to go over this quickly and to make sure I haven't missed anyone. After Dia, Juhi would like to perform, and after Juhi, Adya and Ishani. So we have 4 performers lined up, and if people want to stay on and we want to continue, that's cool too. So give it up for Dia.
Hi everyone, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am not going to switch my camera on because my room is an absolute mess. I managed to live in it pretty well myself, but if I realize that someone else has to see it, I immediately get embarrassed. So this is my first open mic, the first one I've ever like witnessed, as well as performed in. And I haven't really performed this poem like ever, but I'm really excited to share it with you because y'all are such an amazing group of people, and it has been an absolute privilege to hear y'all because you're stars. And I wrote it at a time when I was going through a bit of trouble with my mental health, so it's kind of a rousing cry to hope. Okay, I'm gonna start now. The strength seeps out my aching limbs as I desperately try to swim. But salt water stings my eyes as an ominous pitch turns the skies, and the waves toss in fervent glee. The tempest rages upon the sea. The powers that be portend my doom. The seabed shall be my last resting place. These waters my tomb. Bony fingers brush against my leg, and I look below and see the pale white skeletons of those who drowned before me, rocking to and fro, swaying in the water like slender reeds. They sing their fearful melody. Join us now. The strength will not hold. Leave the struggling and the swimming to the braver, the bold. Come dance with me. Hip bone and femur swivel in ecstasy. But I ignore their clamors, their enticing pleas, the tug of the current, the rolling sea. For within my chest reverberates an all too familiar sound. Against my ribcage, my heart pounds. And I remember all I am and all that I've withstood, all of my story, the ugly, the bad, the good. I remember the stuff I'm made of, as firm and relentless as steel, all the people I loved, all the powers I wield. So I refuse to let this current pull me down under. I'll be damned if this tempest tears me asunder. So I will kick and I will struggle till I can't swim no more. But I will fight till I pull through to the shore. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Dia. Juhi would go next.
Okay, after Juhi, we'll have Simran again because her Wi-Fi got cut off.
Yeah, and then we'll have I'm sorry, I'm just looking. After, so we have Juhi, Simran, then we have Adya, and I think Adya will be our last speaker today.
Okay, so my poem is actually also on mental health, just overall what it is, and it's called The Soundness of the Mind. Okay, so when you feel weak, they tell you not to speak. When you feel sad, they tell you it can't be that bad. When you feel lonely, they say you're being dramatic only. When you feel anxious, they just laugh it off as if it's hilarious. When depressed is all you're feeling, they call you attention seeking. When you think you're hearing voices in your head, they won't help. They'll just call you creepy and weird instead. When you're going through way too much, the world will laugh at you and tell you to have nerves of steel. They think they know what you feel and how to deal. But don't ever forget that not giving importance to your mental health is a triple threat to your mind, your body, and yourself. The emotional well being of you, psychological and social too. It affects how you think, feel, and act. So be kind to your mind, and happiness and good health you will soon find. Talk to your loved ones, sleep well, eat tons. Surround yourself with good people. Be mindful and have a strong will. Take a break, slow down, and before you know it, a smile will replace that frown. Soundness of the mind is essential. Don't let the words of others be influential. You've got this. Thank you.
Thank you, Juhi. That was so positive. We now have Simran, who unfortunately had Wi-Fi issues, but she's back. Simran? Yeah. Nandini, can you unmute her?
Hi. Sorry, I had some Wi-Fi issues, but it should be fine now. Okay, so the poem that I'm gonna perform, you probably heard the beginning. It's about music, so I'm just gonna start again. Some say you need music to dance, and I nod my head and reply, there's always music, with music within you. If your breath has a steady rhythm, and your heart sings words of wonder, and your eyes find beauty in little things, and your ears can listen to songs inaudible, this is music to me. And the reason I dance is so I can feel it coursing through my veins and fill me with so much emotion that I can't help but jump and move to its beat. So dance with me beneath the ocean waves and feel our breath fall into sync with the tide. Dance with me beneath a starry night and feel our hearts try to connect those dots in the sky. Dance with me beneath the sunshine and feel your eyes find color in everything you see. Dance with me like you're listening to your favorite song, and eventually your ears will hear the most beautiful song of all, a quiet song, a silent song, but a song that makes you want to get up and dance once you can find a meaning to it. A song filled with so much emotion and love and wonder and chaos. We can dance through it together. The song of life. Thank you.
Thank you, Simran. Our last performer for this evening will be Adya, once again. And we're so excited. Um, sorry, yeah.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to be performing the first Hindi Urdu poem I wrote for spoken word. It's called Ek Khat. So, okay, I'm going to start. पता नहीं क्यों पर ऐसा लगता है कि फिल्मों वाले रूहानियत से भरी जिंदगी के इंतजार में तमाम उम्र बीत गए. खरोच पे खरोच और जख्म पे जख्म आते रहे. अश्कों की यमुना बहती रही और अच्छे दिनों के इंतजार में मैं बोर होती रही. किसी ने मुझसे इस बात का जिक्र नहीं किया था कि मैं जो कर रही हूँ गलत कर रही हूँ और जिंदगी की कठोरता से निपटने के लिए मैं अभी तैयार नहीं हूँ. सोचा मैं खुद को ही एक खत लिख लूं. युगों युगों का रुख बदला लेकिन तुम नहीं बदली. तुम अब भी अपने चाय में 1.5 चम्मच चीनी लेती हो और अब भी इलायची की महक से सख्त नफरत करती हो. तुम अब भी अपने ही गीत गुनगुनाती हो और अब भी अपनी बेतुका कहानियां सबको सुनाती हो. समाज के दस्तूरों को मरोड़ने की तुम में अब भी हिम्मत नहीं. कहीं मेरे नाम पे खरोच ना आए. नादान दिल से तुम सोचती. दिल में अटके हुए अल्फाज अब तक निकले नहीं और उन अल्फाजों का लिहाज करना तुमने अब तक सीखा नहीं. कब तुम्हारी वरक के रंग तुम्हारी आंखों की तबाही में दिखने लगे और कब अश्कों की गंगा तुम्हारी मुस्कान की रंगत को मिटाने लगे. क्या तुम्हारा मंजिल वही है और तुम्हारे रास्ते बदल गए या फिर तुम्हारे रास्ते वही है और तुम्हारा मंजिल बदल गया. कई दफा ये भी सोचा है कि कब तुम अपने ही मंजिल से अपना ही रास्ता बन गई और कब रास्ते से एक गैर मुतालिक शुरुआत बन गई. तुमने अपने मुकाम को हासिल तो कर लिया लेकिन मुकाम को हासिल करने की कोशिश में तुम खुद को अपनाना भूल गई. शब ए फरकत की धुन अब भी मेरे कानों में गूंजती है. वो जो मैं थी उसकी याद में अब भी आंखें सूजती है और इन सूजी हुई आंखों में मुझे अब भी वही आवारापन का नक्शा मिला जिसमें से इश्क ए मिजाजी का बिरहा खिला. जो मुझे ना सिर्फ अकेलेपन का दे गया एहसास पर तन्हाई में ली गई हर सांस. वो हर सांस जो दिल को इतना भर देती है कि खुद को प्यार करने की जगह तक नहीं. वो हर सांस जो खुद से बिछड़ने की हकीकत को वाहिमा बनाती रही. वो हर सांस जो रगों में बहती रंजिशों की वजह बन गई. माफी चाहती हूँ मैं कि मैंने तुम्हें ये सब पहले नहीं बताया. अगर पहले पता होता तो शायद तुम खुद से जुदा नहीं होती. अभी तो इश्क ढूंढना बाकी है, अपने एतराज़ों को गफलत करना बाकी है, ख्वाबों को दिल में समेटना बाकी है, बच्ची से औरत बनना अब भी बाकी है. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Adya. I love your work. And with that, we come to the end of this evening. Thank you for everyone who's still stuck around. We're at like 35 people now. But this has been absolutely amazing. I'm so glad we did it. And we hope you go and check out a poem that we recently did with a lot of our participants called let's we're making history. Yeah, we're making history. We've put a lot of effort into it and it means a lot to us. It would mean a lot if you would go check it out. Additionally, we have workshops coming up next week for ages 12 to 15. And hopefully, if we get a good response, we want to expand them to other age groups. Please join. If you know someone who falls into the age group, please ask them to join. They're free and they're going to be absolutely amazing and a lot of fun. And we'll also have an open mic for participants from those workshops. So if you want to attend and see our little small participants perform, then please do come. So
Thank you. We hope you enjoyed the performances, and thank you for supporting the creation of art right from your very homes. Don't forget to check out our Instagram page, Poetry in Pandemonium, and follow our YouTube for more updates. Thank you.
thank you so much, guys.
Bye.